Hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to a live show. Manchester United pressing ahead with a few exits. They want to get a few players out. One player could be very close to leaving the door. Leny Yoro, reports from Spain suggesting Leny Yoro is seriously considering the Man United move, but he's set to pick Manchester United with no confirmation on Madrid's stance. Is that true? How reliable is that? Xavi Simons loan agreement. PSG have agreed to sell Xavi Simons to Man United on loan, but will Xavi Simons want to come to Manchester United on loan? It's a bit of a Leny Yoro question. Is he open to the move? Ten Hag speaks about Xavi Simons and how he'd want Xavi Simons. Man United are really advancing for Xavi Simons. Big blow on Braithwaite. Could that be an Inacio boost? Potential new centre-back there. Sancho's sale looking like it's happened. Ten Hag speaks on Kobbie Mainoo, and Ten Hag's plan for Kambwala was revealed, which is why Kambwala's leaving. And look, guys, I know the lighting is pretty bad. I'm aware that the lighting for this stream is pretty bad, but I am on holiday. This is the best I can do lighting-wise in the room. So I do apologise that things like lighting is going to be very, very poor for the next few streams, but it's just temporary. Let's dive into the show. Let's dive into all the news and the stories. Guys, please do hit that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new as well. So what is going on first of all? So I want to talk about the outs quickly, some just interesting updates on the outs, and then I want to talk about Xavi Simons' loan and then potentially a deal for Leny Yoro. So it's been said, Manchester United are doing everything possible to sell Victor Lindelof this summer. So that's one thing that was said by Samuel Luckhurst. I covered this in my live stream earlier today. I said that Man United are working around the clock to get Lindelof out. They'd also like to get Maguire out, but if they can get one of those two out, Lindelof is who they want to sort of get rid of first, because Lindelof's agent has actually had talks with a few other clubs and stuff, and Lindelof is quite open to leaving Manchester United. He knows he's not going to get many minutes at all. Ten Hag's informed Lindelof, Maguire and Kambwala they're not going to get multiple minutes, and that might be why Man United have been linked to signing three centre-backs, Leny Yoro, De Ligt, and then one of Hato, Braithwaite. We're going to talk about the Braithwaite alternatives as well, because the Braithwaite deal seems to be off, and there's 5 defenders on the alternative shortlist, and we're going to rate them in a second as well. It was also said the majority of players out of contract next year are deemed available for sale. So that's Wan-Bissaka, that is Pellistri, and that is McTominay. And they're attracting interest, and United will listen to offers for Eriksen. So United have interest in Wan-Bissaka, Pellistri, and McTominay confirmed. I believe we may have some interest in Lindelof, but we have clubs that have spoken to us about Wan-Bissaka, Pellistri, and McTominay, which is fair enough. I can see why teams would want all 3 of those players. And they're also going to listen to offers for Eriksen. And of course, the likes of Casemiro, Sancho, Greenwood, Man United want to get gone. Toney, United want to get gone. Mejbri, we want to get gone. Lindelof, we want to get gone. Maguire, we also want to get gone as well, was said by Samuel Luckhurst. And it was also said that Juventus, Borussia Dortmund, among others, are not giving up on signing Sancho despite yesterday's developments. Even though Sancho's returned to training, as I said in my live stream earlier today, teams are still interested in buying Sancho. And I think Man United just see Sancho returning to training as a financial thing, so they can see if they can get a bit more money for Sancho, because teams are being a bit... what teams are doing is I think they're just trying to get Sancho on the cheap. They're thinking, can we get Sancho on the cheap because he's not back in training? Now Sancho's back in training. That reduces the chance of teams getting Sancho on the cheap. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on with the outs, because at the end of the day, the amount of things we can do with the ins is the outs. Where would Xavi Simons play for us? I assume left wing, potentially a bit on the right, a little bit in the middle as well. We will get into Xavi Simons news, because PSG have said to Man United, you can have him on loan. They've made that clear. You can have Xavi Simons on loan, but will Xavi Simons want to come to Manchester United? That has always been the one bit of a worry there as well. Thank you very much for joining the members club, John Pryor. Really appreciated as always as well. Whether we keep or sell, setting the difference with Sancho is a positive regardless. Yes, I think we should sell Sancho, look to move him on. I think potentially I just don't really want him in a Man United shirt again, just the way he behaved and the fact that he hasn't been good enough the 4 years he is here. But 100%, it's 30 time. Apparently Man United are looking at 30, but apparently it's going to be a 40 million fee, and I don't think we're going to spend that much on someone that can play left back, right back. Maybe if Wan-Bissaka's sold, but we are apparently looking at him. But again, Turkish media love to pretend that Man United are more advanced for one of their players than we actually are, to use Manchester United for clicks as well. Baffling why PSG do not keep and integrate Simons. It's so weird, the PSG Simons situation. PSG will not sell Simons to us. PSG are like, we are not selling Xavi Simons, but they've said, look, you can have him on loan. And now, interestingly, Ten Hag just spoke out. I don't know if you saw what Ten Hag said on Xavi Simons today, but Ten Hag was praising Xavi Simons today. Ten Hag wants this. Ruud van Nistelrooy worked with Xavi Simons when he was top scorer in the Eredivisie. Ruud van Nistelrooy wants this. Vivel is part of the RB clubs that recruited Xavi Simons. Vivel wants it. You've got the coach, the assistant coach, and the head of recruitment all wanting Xavi Simons. You've got Man United talks with PSG about Agate and previously about Xavi Simons. I do think Xavi Simons to United is going to be the one to watch. It's going to be the one to watch. Of course, a lot of it is speculations. I'm not going to deny that. But PSG have said, we will give you Xavi Simons on loan to Man United. PSG have told Man United, you can have Xavi Simons on loan. It's just Xavi Simons has got to make a decision on his future. Apparently, he wants Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich have got Elise, and Bayern Munich have made a bid for Desiree Doue. Where's Xavi Simons going to go as well? Long-term Bruno replacement. I think he is best as a 10, Xavi Simons. But I think Man United want him on the wing. Ashley says, I think Simon is a great player. He could be for United. Exactly. He is Dutch. We do like the Dutch players, but when we're getting the good Dutch players, it's fine. It's not Weghorst, he's Xavi Simons as well. Euro's better than Branthwaite. I think the thing about Branthwaite is he's more tailored to the Premier League, more ready to the Premier League and play on the left, which is why I think Branthwaite is what Man United wanted, but I think Euro's ceiling is better as well. So let's get into the story on Leny Yoro. So let's get into the first bit of the Leny Yoro story. Manchester United are offering Leny Yoro a contract until 2029 with a 1-year extension option. And Real Madrid do not plan to pay more than 40 million euros for Leny Yoro. So that's the first thing that's been said. Now, interestingly, Lille have said they're never going to accept any offers from Real Madrid unless they match what Man United pay. And Real Madrid are not going to do that, which means Lille were saying to Leny Yoro, even if they come in August on a lowball offer, we're not going to accept this. You're going to have to stay here another year on your very low wages, academy player level wages, or sign a new deal with us and get good wages. But then Real Madrid will have to pay full price for you next season, and who knows they're going to do that. So if you want good wages next season, you've got to go to Manchester United or sign a new deal with us and hope that Real Madrid will pay the big fee we want for you next season. It's essentially, I think, what is coming out from Manchester United. My computer has got really hot, by the way. So I do apologise about that. I don't know if that's reflecting. Actually, you can't. Why? You won't know my computer's hot. You're not sitting next to my computer. I will talk about Ivan Toney in a second, but I don't think there's much in it. So what else has been said on Leny Yoro to Manchester United as well? So it was said from reports in Spain that Leny Yoro is seriously considering the offer from Man United, which includes a 5-year deal with an option of an additional year. Lille is pushing for Euro's exit, and there is no guarantee that he will accept any future offers from Madrid this summer. As a result, Leny Yoro might choose to join Man United. Leny Yoro's chances of joining Man United are increasing. So there's an increasing likelihood that Leny Yoro could join Manchester United. They said that he's seriously considering the offer, which is a 5-year deal with an option to expend. Lille are pushing for Euro's exit and pushing for him to join United. And there's no guarantee they will accept future offers from Madrid this summer unless Madrid match Man United's price, but they're not going to do. So this is increasing the chances of Leny Yoro joining United. He's got Lille pushing him to join United. They're saying, look, Man United really want you. They're going to pay the money for you. Real Madrid just going to get you on the cheap. Man United have presented a project to Leny Yoro where they're saying, look, we're going to find a way to make sure that, you're playing regularly and you're going to be highly involved in all of that as well. Man United presenting offers to Leny Yoro. So I think it's potentially something to really keep an eye on here. Leny Yoro to United. There's increasing chances of potentially acquiring Leny Yoro. And I've said this for a while. I've always felt that Leny Yoro will go Real Madrid. And I've always felt that Xavi Simons' preference has been Bayern Munich. But I think we can get Leny Yoro and Xavi Simons. I think we can get them both. We're in a situation right now where we have a deal agreed with Lille. Lille have accepted our bid. We're just waiting for Leny Yoro to put pen to paper and say, cool, I'm going to come to United. I'm going to sign that contract. All we need to do is for Leny Yoro to sign that contract. Man United want Xavi Simons. PSG have told Man United, you can have Xavi Simons on loan, but they've also told Bayern Munich that. They've also told other clubs that, and there's interest in Xavi Simons from Bundesliga clubs. Basically, we're in a situation where we can get Xavi Simons and we can get Leny Yoro. We just need both of those players to want to come to United and put pen to paper. Now, one thing that I've been really impressed with the Ineos regime is our ability to attract people. Ruud van Nistelrooy could have been a head coach somewhere. He's come to United to be an assistant. Rene Hake's left his job to be an assistant. He was a head coach. You've got Dan Ashworth leaving Newcastle really controversially to join Manchester United, and Newcastle, the richest club in the world. You've got Omar Barada leaving the City Group for United. Christopher Vivel rejected Newcastle for Manchester United. Ineos's pool is there. Ineos's pool is absolutely there. Jason Wilcox just got his dream job as a sporting director at Southampton. He's then left Southampton within a year to join United as someone that is not even is a technical director, which isn't as high a role as a sporting director. Ineos's pool is there. Ineos have only put in a bid for Leny Yoro because they had positive conversations with Leny Yoro's agent, which suggests that Leny Yoro could be open to a move which isn't Real Madrid. The fact that Leny Yoro hasn't declined that offer as well, the fact that he's quote tweeting stuff saying it's not true, he never said he didn't want to go to Manchester United, Ineos feel a quiet confidence that Leny Yoro could come to United, and that's coming out from Spain. Real Madrid are looking at alternatives for Leny Yoro just in case. Real Madrid are less confident, according to Spanish sources, of acquiring Yoro. And as days go on, there's an increasing chance Leny Yoro might choose to join Man United because Lille is saying, well, we're not going to accept Real Madrid's offer unless they match Man United, and they're not going to do that. So you either stay here a year and run down your contract and upset people at Lille, or you join Manchester United. And Man United said, we can give you game time. We've got this plan for you. Look at Mainoo, look at Garnacho. There's a really increasing chance that Leny Yoro could join Man United because Real Madrid are continuing to still on the deal as well. Look, I still think we'll see Leny Yoro in a Real Madrid shirt. I have just a feeling that maybe he could be using us to get Real Madrid to hurry up and put in a better bid. I think we also have to think, well, could Leny Yoro be using Manchester United to try and get a better bid? Absolutely, absolutely. He could be using Man United to try and get a better bid or whatever he wants. So there is that possibility as well. Guys, please do hit that like button and, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new and want to stay up to date on all the latest news. We want Agati, not Simons. Well, we're in talks with PSG for both Agati and Simons. It's not like we're considering one but not the other. Oh, I think that's what... No. It's really hot. My desk is, like, boiling here. I don't know why. I don't know why, but something's absolutely boiling with my desk. Oh, well. Continuing on. I think we'll get Agate, and I think Xavi Simons is one that we've got to convince as part of that deal as well. Anyone know how long Xavi Simons' contract to PSG? He might pull an Mbappe. I don't know how long his contract is as well. But let's get into the next stories. Let's get into the next update. Sorry about me faffing around, but my desk that my stuff is on is completely boiling for some reason. Anyway, continuing on to the next updates, to the next stories. It was said Erik ten Hag is weighing up a loan move for Xavi Simons. So that is the first thing that was said by Mullock of the Mirror. Now, if you watched my live stream earlier today, I probably spoke about Xavi Simons for 10 minutes because there was a load of news stories that came in on Xavi Simons. Okay? So it was said that Erik ten Hag is weighing up a loan move for Xavi Simons and that PSG are ready to allow Xavi Simons to go out on loan again, but only with an obligation to pay. That kind of structured deal will suit United. So PSG have agreed that Xavi Simons can go out on loan with an obligation to buy to Manchester United. Ten Hag is weighing up whether to get Xavi Simons on loan. He really likes Xavi Simons. PSG have said to Xavi Simons, you can go out on loan. PSG have said to United, we'll agree to Xavi Simons joining you if it's a loan with an obligation to buy, and that suits United. When we had talks about Agate, it was said that Man United had talks to PSG about several players. Romano confirmed Man United had talks with PSG about several players, not just one or the other. It was not just Agate, there was other players involved. PSG are ready to allow Xavi Simons to go out on loan again, but only with an obligation to buy, and that's going to suit United. So what else was said on this? What else was said on the Xavi Simons situation as well? Is the Simons rumours or from reliable sources? No, it's gone quite credible sources. Romano confirmed we have an interest in Xavi Simons. Romano confirmed that Man United have a genuine interest in Xavi Simons. They were actually in pole position to sign him last year, and Man United is seriously looking at bringing Xavi Simons in. There is reliable sources updating us on the Xavi Simons situation. And this is what Erik ten Hag said today. Erik ten Hag spoke about Xavi Simons today. And maybe this has prompted more rumours because there's like 5-6 stories on Xavi Simons today. But Erik ten Hag said this on Xavi Simons. I enjoyed Xavi Simons in that game against England. The drive he has, the passion which he conquers the ball and recognises situations at top. His enormous drive as well. That is almost un-Dutch. I think you can see that he's trained abroad. He almost has a Southern European dodginess to his game. Now, Ten Hag is a big fan of Xavi Simons and he's made that clear. Ten Hag wants Xavi Simons. Ruud van Nistelrooy wants Xavi Simons. Vivel and Man United want Xavi Simons. And PSG want to offload Xavi Simons on loan with an option to buy, which is what Man United would like to do. And in fact, it would really suit Manchester United potentially doing something like that. So this has put Man United in a bit of a position where they're thinking, okay, well, there's something here. The problem with Xavi Simons is his preference is to play in Germany. Leny Yoro's preference is Real Madrid. Xavi Simons' preference is, well, actually, I've always kind of wanted to play in Germany. That has been Xavi Simons' preference, which puts Man United in a bit of a difficult position. But if I update you on more of the Simons stories and more of the Simons news going about, because as I've said, there's a lot of stories on Xavi Simons and there's a lot of news on Xavi Simons at the moment as well. But it was also said on Xavi Simons here, if I can get this up on my screen, and this is obviously from my live show earlier today, that Manchester United held conversations the last 24 hours about bringing Xavi Simons in, so the Mail, that United line up a shock move for Xavi Simons as he faces a big decision over his future, said Tom Barkley, and that Man United are looking at PSG's Xavi Simons. And these were all updates that came in, and I spoke about this in my morning show. It was then said that PSG have made it clear they don't want to sell Xavi Simons. Manchester United are one of those that are interested in the Dutch star, and a loan deal is possible. It said that United have asked about Xavi Simons, and United could push for the deal because they've missed out on Elise. And it said that Man United are among teams who've approached PSG about signing Simons. The French side are likely to prefer a loan move over a permanent deal. It was then said by Romano last year that United were pushing behind the scenes to sign Xavi Simons when he was on loan at PSV. Their Premier League clubs interested in him this summer. Manchester United were in pole position to sign Xavi Simons this summer. This is last summer. And he said if the player refused to return to PSG following the activation of their buyout clause, he could have been going to Manchester United. And it was then said by Fabrice Hawkins that Xavi Simons will not be at PSG next season, and Man United and other top clubs are competing for him. And that was obviously news that I covered in my live show earlier today, all on Xavi Simons to United. So there is a lot of positives in regards to Xavi Simons to Manchester United. Now, as I've said with Xavi Simons and as I've said with Leny Yoro, Manchester United want to bring in both Xavi Simons and Leny Yoro. We basically know we can get Xavi Simons on loan, which we're willing to do, and we've already had a Euro bid accepted. It just depends on the player decision as well. Bayern have Musiala at 10, quality wing options, and Bayern more not ideal for Simons. Exactly. They've got Musiala, they've signed Elise, who can play 10 and out wide. They have Sane, they have loads of wing options, and also Bayern Munich are making bids for Desiree Doue. Actually, should I get into the Desiree Doue news? Because I forgot to add that to my slides. Guys, there is some interesting updates coming in regards to Desiree Doue, and I'm going to get that up now because I completely forgot to add it to my slides, but let me show you what has been said on Desiree Doue, if I can find it here. Okay, so Fabrizio Romano has given us an update on Desiree Doue here. And this came in just now. Fabrizio Romano's update on Desiree Doue has come in recently. And this is the latest on Desiree Doue, which is, again, a player that United are looking at. So Romano has said Desiree Doue keeps all options for his future open. Decision will be made in the next days. PSG are expected to enter the race with a formal proposal. Bayern had first bid rejected, but planning to approach Rennes again. No formal bid from the Premier League yet. So Bayern Munich have made a bid. PSG are expected to make a bid. Man United, Tottenham and Chelsea are the three Premier League clubs that have been monitoring Desiree Doue. Now, Desiree Doue has Ballon d'Or potential. Desiree Doue is a special player and he's believed to be available for £34 million. In fact, the Rennes president said £34 million and you can have one of the most talented 18-year-olds in football. Now, I think that now Elise is gone, United will look at Desiree Doue. If they can't get Desiree Doue, I think they'll go for Xavi Simons. I think it's between Desiree Doue and Xavi Simons. I think now we want a winger. And we will look to sign a winger, but we want to make sure Sancho's offloaded first. Even though Sancho's returned to training, there's still interest in clubs buying Sancho. Man United is still willing to listen to offers for Sancho, and it's believed that Ineos' preference is to sell Sancho. They're just trying to make out a front that they're not bothered about selling Sancho so they can get the money they want for Sancho. It's a financial game from Ineos. Greenwood will go. I know there's some stalls in the Greenwood situation. Greenwood will go. That deal will be done. Bosh. Casemiro's expected to go. Bosh. Lindelof's expected to go. Bosh. Wan-Bissaka's expected to go. Bosh. Sancho's expected to go. Bosh. Palistri's expected to go for around £15 million. Bosh. Those sales are expected to happen. So I think there's possibilities we could step up for Desiree Doue. We're just waiting on sales. But it depends on other clubs. It depends on what Desiree Doue wants as well. You know, like Desiree Doue could be like Leny Yoro. We could have a bid accepted for Desiree Doue tomorrow and he might say, nah, sorry, I want Bayern Munich. Elise chose Bayern Munich and, Chelsea and Newcastle bid for him. Doesn't go your way. But Leny Yoro bid accepted. Xavi Simons loan deal, we've been told, yep, you can get Xavi Simons on loan. PSG have said, yep, you can have Xavi Simons on loan. Man United are saying this suits us. There's stuff there. We need Xavi Simons and to say he wants United. We need Leny Yoro to say he wants United, and we need Desiree Doue to want Manchester United, and then us to actually make an offer for Doue. But he is keeping all options open, and there's definitely going to be movement and some clarity on the Doue situation in the next few days. As things stand, I think his chances of joining United are looking slimmer and slimmer because other clubs are making moves for him and we're not. Maybe we're focusing on Xavi Simons over him, as we've made recent moves for Xavi Simons, and we seem to have this Dutch love. Who knows? As Diego says, guys, we've got over 1,000 people watching. Let's see if we can hit 500 likes. So please do go ahead and hit that like button if you have not already as well. And Alex B says, not sure the Doue links to us have ever been that far along. It seems a number of other clubs circling. It seems that we seem to be like one of many clubs looking at Doue, but maybe other clubs looking at Doue. are a lot more serious as well. I think that's the problem with the Doue situation as well. Doue is a left wing, and I don't mind bringing in a left wing, because I think Garnacho did quite well on the right, and Ahmed can play on the right. I think someone that could challenge Rashford could be better. I mean, ultimately, I always felt like we needed a right winger, because I think Garnacho long term will be a left winger, but it can do us as well. I prefer Simons. Guys, let me know in the chat, who would you rather bring in, Desiree Doue or Xavi Simons? I'm actually really intrigued. Let me know in the chat. Would you rather bring in Desiree Doue? Would you rather bring in Xavi Simons? If Europe accepts, does it mean it's instant, here we go, or do we have to agree personal terms? Well, you have to agree personal terms. Europe accepting, Man United have offered Euro personal terms. Man United have offered Leny Yoro a 5-year deal. We've offered Leny Yoro the 5-year deal. And if he accepts that, he's agreed personal terms to United, and he's a United player pending a medical as well. So what else has been said? Tenor speaking on Xavi Simons, there's been a bit of a blow for Jarrad Branthwaite. So what is the latest in regards to Jarrad Branthwaite to Manchester United and a potential blow on that deal? Okay. So first of all, Ivan Toney news. Brentford have been informed by Ivan Toney's agents his intentions are to join United. Man United are interested in Ivan Toney. Man United have held conversations about Ivan Toney, and he is a genuine target. Even though we signed Joshua Zirkzee, we could be interested in bringing in Ivan Toney and Zirkzee. Now, personally, I'd rather bring in a winger than another striker, but an Ivan Toney, you have a striker that is proven in the Premier League. You've got a proven Premier League striker in Ivan Toney that can score goals, and maybe we're planning something different. Ivan Toney and Zirkzee can also play roles outside of striker and along with Rasmus Højlund. Man United are generally interested in bringing Ivan Toney in. Personally, I would rather save the funds for a winger now. But Ivan Toney wants United. He's got 1 year left on his deal. Man United might want to take advantage of what could be a good fee. But obviously, we have got Zirkzee and Højlund, and I'm very happy with Zirkzee and Højlund being striker options. But yeah, definitely, Ivan Toney could be one to watch. So what else was said? Manchester United are amongst other clubs that have been credited with an interest in Amadou Onana, who's close to joining Villa. Onana's departure to Aston Villa ends any chance of Everton selling Branthwaite to United, barring a huge offer, and a huge offer would be 80 million. Now that Everton have sorted FFP, now that they're going to get 50 million for Amadou Onana from, of course, Aston Villa, basically means we've got no chance of signing Jarrad Branthwaite unless we bid 80 million. What have Ineos made clear? We're not going to bid 80 million. We will not give you 80 million for Branthwaite. We need to end Man United overpaying. I think Man United have to walk away from Branthwaite. We can make 1/3 and final bid at 55 million. If that doesn't get accepted, we have to walk away. Because even though we don't get Branthwaite, he was #1 target, and it will hurt, there's loads of good options out there in the centre-back market, so it's not the end of the world losing out on Branthwaite. But two, the message it sends. Man United's priority was Jarrad Branthwaite. They couldn't get him because Everton wanted this amount of money. They wouldn't pay that. That tells every other club, next summer, Man United may prioritise some really good guy called Nick next summer. And he's a really good midfielder. He's a perfect profile for United. He's English. He's 21. Some amazing player. I've just made him up. But next summer, Man United may prioritise a brilliant English midfielder. And he's a 50 million player, and they want 70 million for him. And then the club realised, well, look what happened with Branthwaite. Man United said they pay 50, we wanted 70. Man United stopped overpaying on the Ineos. I think walking away from Branthwaite isn't a bad thing because it sends a message that we no longer overpay. We're not going to overpay for this player. And I like the kind of message that it sends. We're not going to overpay for this player. I like that from United. And I think there's other good options out there. I mean, I can name you. Shall I name you some really good options out there that United can look at? Shall I tell you who Man United's other options are? And actually, I think that some of them are quite good. So let me get my tweet up from earlier today. And I will get into the other news stories, guys, because I want to keep this live show to about half an hour. So it's more information packed. But let me get this up here. Aston Villa signing Amadou Onana means no Branthwaite for Man United this summer. Yoro, if he agrees, plus De Ligt, it is at centre-back. Very happy with that. Agate plus Xavi Simons on loan, obligations to buy, happy with that. Another midfielder plus backup left-back would be a very successful window for me. And I'll stick with that. 2 centre-backs, 2 midfielders, Xavi Simons, Zirkzee, perfect window for me. Zirkzee, Yoro, De Ligt, Agate, Simons, another midfielder, backup left-back. That's a perfect window for me. And that's very possible. But there is other left centre-backs. Now, the left centre-back options United have considered are Inacio and Sancho. They're the left centre-back options that United have considered. Inacio and Sancho. Inacio and Hancho. Am I saying Sancho? Hancho. We've considered them. But look, Hato of Ajax, again, very good player. Is he? I think he's Dutch. Hato nationality. He's Dutch. So we could bring in 4 Dutch players and Simons, Zirkzee, Hato and De Ligt, which would be quite funny. But I'm not even thinking of his nationality. Hato can play left back, left centre back, and even DM. William Pacho of Frankfurt has been unbelievably good. He can play left back and left centre back. He's a physical powerhouse. Look, Schlotterbeck at Dortmund could play left back, left centre back. Had a fantastic season. And look at me again. It was available for £30 million. Could be cheaper than Sancho, and arguably had a better season at Bologna than Sancho. He could be available for 30 million. So you've got look at me. You've got Schlotterbeck. You've got Pacho. You've got Hato. You've got Hincapie. You've got Inacio. You've got all these options being looked at left centre back. So missing out on Braithwaite for me isn't the end of the world, especially even if Yoro is a right centre back. If we can get Leny Yoro and De Ligt in, I still see that as a good window. Thank you very much for the super chat. Maguire plus Plash for Braithwaite, everyone wins. Do you know what? Maybe we should try that. But the problem is, you probably have to, I think you can get 25, 30 million for Maguire. So it's like, how much cash were United willing to offer? If they see Braithwaite at 55 million, I don't think we're going to offer more than 35 million then. And I don't think Everton will accept that. But you can maybe test it as well. I think keep an eye on Inacio to United. Look, there's no updates on Inacio to Manchester United today. There's nothing new regarding Inacio to Manchester United today. But I think keep an eye on that because him and Sancho were our first two choice Braithwaite alternatives. So keep an eye on those two. But I was just listing some other options. Pacho and Hato would be best options in my opinion. Hincapie's good, but I don't think he's Premier League made. I think Hincapie's better than Pacho, but I think Pacho's better suited for the Premier League as well. If I'm going to be honest with you as well. There is rumours of Dani Olmo, but I don't know how advanced they are. I've always said get Diamonde, but we're not. I always said, for me, Diamonde and Lukami would have been some really good options for United in the window, but we don't have any reliable links suggesting that we're in for those players. I want to get through the news. I want to get through the updates because, as I said, there's a lot of news to get through in today's show. But yes, Braithwaite to Manchester United, that is essentially off. That's sadly probably not going to happen, which is a bit of a shame because I would have been a big fan of bringing in Braithwaite as well. How good is Joshua Zirkzee? I mean, look, I think he had a really good season last year. I really liked what Joshua Zirkzee brought because he's a completely different profile of player to what we're used to at Manchester United. But, it depends how he adapts to the Premier League. But I think that Joshua Zirkzee can be a very good signing for United. It says, as it stands, the plan for Jadon Sancho is to play a full part in pre-season, but that could change with Man United expecting offers for Sancho. I do apologise if we're getting a tiny bit of lag in here, by the way, guys. It seems to be a little bit laggy. I want to just get into the final news stories as well. Ten Hag has spoken out about Kobbie Mainoo, and Ten Hag said as much as he hopes the Netherlands would win, he enjoyed Kobbie Mainoo. What a talent technically, but also mentally. He said, Kobbie is a great kid. I really thought he was one of the best players on the pitch against Holland. He was crucial in England's dominance the first hour. Ten Hag speaks out on Kobbie Mainoo. And another young youth player, Ten Hag's stance on Kambwala has been revealed. If you do not know, Willy Kambwala is leaving Manchester United, €12 million deal. Here we go. Kambwala is understood to have been reluctant to leave Man United until he was informed by Ten Hag that he'd be way down the pecking order of centre-backs. And Ten Hag said to a confidant if he was told during pre-season that Kambwala would play under him, he would have called them crazy. Ten Hag only played Kambwala because of the crazy amount of injuries. He didn't rate him in last year. He said that Kambwala can go. Even though Kambwala was reluctant to leave, Ten Hag said, look, I can't guarantee you game time. You can leave Manchester United as well. So that is your half an hour live show, basically rounding up all the Manchester United news for you guys. I want to keep it short. I want to keep it sweet and just get through the news, but I will quickly look at your comments. 30, nothing advanced yet. Want to keep an eye on, but I don't think anything will happen until we sell a fullback as well. Kambwala is effectively sold for about £10 million we're going to get for him. Xavi Simons is a great signing. Dani Olmo from Spain would also be a good signing. I agree. I think you only get one or the other, not both. Too similar as well. We do have a buyback in Kambwala as well, so not the end for him yet. We're going to get 10 million for Kambwala with a buyback clause, which definitely good options there in regards to Kambwala as well. So look, £10 million, you make a profit. We don't make a profit on many players, and there's a buyback clause, so it's not the end of the world. So yeah, and Xavi Simons could be a good temps there. I agree. Not too much lag. That is good as well. Leny Yoro and Xavi Simons. PSG said to Man United, we will give you Xavi Simons on loan with an obligation to buy. United went up. Man United had a deal accepted for Leny Yoro. Man United just want to know Man United need to know, does Xavi Simons want to come to us or would he rather pursue other options? And does Xavi Simons, and then we can potentially press ahead and get Xavi Simons. Leny Yoro is about him choosing us. West Ham were expected to put in an offer for Wan-Bissaka. The Braithwaite deal is off. No news on De Ligt, but it's expected to be the next signing as well. And ironically, Hato is really high praise. People will see Ajax and Dutch have a But yeah, Hato looks very good for a 17-year-old. He's already captained Ajax as well. De Ligt and Hato could be the ideal two centre-backs if we can't get Yoro. There's some really good options out there if we can't get Yoro and we can't get Braithwaite, who we probably can't get Braithwaite now. Anyway, thank you for watching today's show. Please hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. I'll be back later tonight with a roundup and maybe live if there's some breaking news. Thank you for watching. Bye.